So what if your situation is different than what I described in the last two videos, because you're in a position right now where you can't even afford the basics and you need to rely on some form of assistance to make Yantiv happen? What's the Gula mindset here? How do you manifest a more abundant future for yourself? So to answer this question, we first want to understand, what is manifesting? Like, how do you manifest? What's a manifester? Who's a manifester? We use that word, but like, what are we actually doing? Well, we manifest by receiving. An excellent manifester is nothing more than an excellent receiver. And all the different things you will ever learn about manifesting are all different ways of coming at this question, at this issue of how to become a very large and open vessel to receive all the blessings that you want. Because in this context, we are vessels, right? So the question is, are we a small leaky bucket? Or are we a tank? And we could be different things for different types of blessings, right? Like I could be a small leaky bucket for love, but a tank for money, or vice versa. Or I could be a tank for both, like but it's not like there's one, one thing. Like in my last video, I was talking about how if you, have money for everything and everyone else except yourself, it's not a money issue, it's a self-worth issue. But that doesn't mean that you have overall self-worth issues, but specifically when it comes to money, materialism, rest, relaxation, we have a self-worth issue, right? So it's not like these things have to be across the board, but we do want to look at it when we are struggling with a particular thing. So to manifest means to learn how to be a receiver. And so we start to become a manifester and we start to become a receiver by intentionally opening ourselves up to receive. So in this situation that we're talking about, where you are receiving or you need to receive some sort of support to pay for Yantiv expenses, you want to make sure that you are intentionally, consciously choosing to be a gracious and grateful receiver of that blessing. Because if what's taking over is bitterness and resentment about the situation, if you are resisting the reality of what is, at least in this current moment, all of those, resentment, resistance, those are all very constricting, which means that you are then constricting your vessel, right? Versus if you are surrendered to the reality of what is and you are gracious and grateful, that is all very expansive. And in this situation, you are expanding your vessel. Now, obviously, no one wants to be in this position. It is not fun, and there are going to be difficult emotions that come up around it, and we don't want to suppress them. What I am saying here is not advocating for suppressing our emotions. That never ends well. So what can we do with those emotions? Well, we can channel those emotions into a desire, because attached to every experience that we don't like, attached to it is a desire for our preferred experience, right? Everything that we don't like, what it's doing there is teaching us what we do like. And there's a desire for that. So not only do you not want to suppress your painful emotions around your current situation, you also definitely do not want to suppress your desire to be in a different situation, to have a more preferred experience, right? So attached to the distress that you feel around not being financially independent, attached to that is a desire for financial prosperity. Have your painful emotions allow you to feel that desire, as scary as it might be to have that desire, because desire is a powerful force that creates the very thing that you want. And we even see this in the Hebrew language, because the word for desire in Hebrew is ratzon. And ratzon shares the same letters as the word tzinar, which means pipeline, because your ratzon, your desire, creates a pipeline through which to draw to you all the things that you want. So there's a paradox here to hold. On the one hand, you want to be surrendered to your current reality and intentionally choose to be a gracious and grateful receiver. And simultaneously, you want to feel your painful emotions and channel them towards a desire for your preferred experience.